Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Manchester United have stopped paying Jadon Sancho because he does not train or play with the first team. Manchester United have stopped paying the wages of attacking midfielder Jadon Sancho, according to Spanish outlet Sport. The England international reportedly did not receive the salary he should have received on November 1, with the Red Devils insisting he would not get paid as long as he is no longer training and playing with the first team. Sancho was banished from the Man United senior group by manager Erik Tanha, having refused to apologize for calling out the Dutchman on September 3 after the 3-1 loss to Arsenal. The 23-year-old has also been removed from the squad WhatsApp group and has been training with the youth teams. He currently earns £250,000 per week and is expected to leave Man United in January, but Sport claim that the Old Trafford club have stopped paying him is unbelievable and unlikely to be true. The Sun reported on Friday night that Sancho has missed numerous training sessions since being exiled from the first team. They added that the former Borussia Dortmund star is still on full pay and has not been fined for missing training, as he has always had a reason. Man United have no reason to stop paying him in full, as doing so could see him sue the club. He last featured for the Red Devils in the 3-2 win against Nottingham Forest on August 26, in what was his third appearance on the campaign, and he has not been playing for the youth teams despite training with them. Sancho has played his last game for Man United from the look of things, and the likes of Juventus and Dortmund have been linked with him ahead of the January transfer window. His wages could be the stumbling block for the interested suitors, and the Red Devils will be desperate to cut their losses, as paying a player for offering nothing makes no sense. Manchester United will not activate the option to extend Anthony Martial's contract expiring in 2024. Man United have no plans to activate the option to extend Anthony Martial's contract when it expires in the summer, according to the Athletic journalist David Ornstein. The Red Devils handed the 28-year-old a new 5-year deal in 2019, with an option to hand him a 12-month contract afterwards included in it. However, Martial has clearly not impressed Man United manager Erik ten Hag, and the club is ready to let him leave as a free agent when the 23-24 campaign ends in June. The Old Trafford club have been inserting and triggering such clauses for most players, but they decided against doing so in the case of David De Gea at the end of last season, and they plan to take a similar approach in regard to Martial. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof and Tanha Mejberi are also in a similar situation, but talks are ongoing regarding what to do with the trio ahead of next summer. Martial has bagged 2 goals and an assist in 19 games across all competitions this term, and has failed to live up to the billing despite the hype surrounding his arrival in 2015. The former Monaco star has tallied 90 goals and 55 assists in 317 appearances for Man United, with the 19-20 campaign when he notched 23 goals and 12 assists, still his best ever season for the club. Martial currently earns £250,000 per week at the Theatre of Dreams, and there is absolutely no reason why his contract should be extended. The January transfer window represents their last chance to get something from suitors for his services, but most of them would prefer to wait until the summer when they can sign him for free. Ten Hag needs a major squad overhaul if his side are to start challenging for the Premier League and Champions League anytime soon, and more players are expected to join the Frenchman in leaving over the next two transfer windows. Casemiro's agents offering him to Paris Saint-Germain. Manchester United succumbed to their 11th loss of the current campaign, this time a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Bournemouth in the Premier League on Saturday. It was once again too easy to play through the Old Trafford side with almost a non-existent midfield. The same issue has been plaguing the team from the start of the season. This happened even when manager Erik Ten Hag played last season's talisman Casemiro, who was focusing too much on the attacking aspect of his game instead of his primary job. The Red Devils conceded a lot from cutbacks as the players made late runs into the box, with the Brazilian failing to track runners. He also seemed to have lost a yard of pace. Playing alongside the attack-focused Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes was not a sustainable plan, as the Dio were regularly caught upfield, leaving the Brazil international alone and trying to shield the defense. His injury saw Sofiane Amrabat play in that position, but the Moroccan has failed to fill the void. The former Real Madrid superstar is currently back in training. During his absence, there have been multiple reports linking the 31-year-old with an exit as early as January, with multiple Saudi Arabian clubs in the mix. Now, as per Le Temps Sport, the defensive midfielder's agent has offered his client services to Paris Saint-Germain. The report read, Sportzone indicated that Casemiro's agent have offered his services to PSG. It remains to be seen whether the Parisian leaders would be interested, but the future of the Brazilian international in any case seems to be written far from Man United. The English giants and Ten Hag could certainly do with the return of the four-time Champions League winner, especially the player Old Trafford fell in love with last season. He has not performed up to his high standards this term, but that does not mean the club will abandon a proven winner after only one season. He could still play a key role if United are to salvage their season. Erik Ten Hag has plans for Amad Diallo ahead of a January window. Football Insider have claimed that the Dutch boss could be about to bring Amad Diallo into the first team fold to check out firsthand whether the Ivory Coast international can hack in the Premier League. The 21-year-old was a revelation for Sunderland in the Championship last season and was even awarded Defense Player of the Year for his 14 goals and 4 assists in 43 appearances. The former Atalanta starlet was supposed to make a case for his inclusion in the first team squad in pre-season, but an unfortunate injury suffered against Arsenal and a subsequent operation meant he missed the opening for months. The Ivory Coast international was spotted back in training and he must be raring to go after missing such a large chunk of the campaign. Ten Hag's plan is to try him out during the busy festive period, and if he performs well, Ahmad could end up playing a key role in the coming days. If the manager feels the right winger is not ready yet, a loan deal might be sanctioned in January, the report read. Man United forgotten man Amad Diallo is set to return to the first team at Old Trafford, sources have told Football Insider. It's believed that Erik Ten Hag is keen to take a look at Diallo in action for his side in the coming weeks as the January transfer window approaches. However, if he can't break into the first team set up under Ten Hag, it's believed another loan exit for Diallo could be sanctioned in January. Well, considering Sancho's possible departure and Antony's current form, the tricky winger now has a clear pathway in front of him. Whether he can take it, it's up to him. It will not be easy to make his mark instantaneously after such a major injury. He already has played 9 times for United's first team and has 1 goal and an assist to his name. Rio Ferdinand labels Marcus Rashford too inconsistent to be considered world class. Rio Ferdinand has stated that Man United striker Marcus Rashford is too inconsistent to be considered a world class player. The former player turned pundit was speaking to Talksport and asserted that the Mancunian striker lacks consistency in his game, something essential to become one of the best. The England international has had a horrible start to the season, scoring only 2 goals in 20 appearances for the Red Devils this campaign. This is in stark contrast to the fine form of last year, where Rashford was unstoppable and found the net 30 times in all competitions. Nonetheless, Ferdinand did not mince his words when summing up the Academy product's ability. When asked by the host of the show if Rashford was world class, he replied, "No, he is not. He has world class potential, but he is not a world class player. He is not proved it enough." The Champions League winning defender argued that to be considered at a world class level, a player needs to sustain it over a period of time, but at the moment he comes in flurries. This would seem a fair assessment, as the England international has only scored more than 20 goals 3 times in the 8 seasons previous to the current one. Unless he finds an incredible purple patch, he is unlikely to do so again this season. Ferdinand went on to argue that the player can do things on a pitch that take your breath away, but should be able to deliver this moment more frequently due to his experience. The pundit remarked, "I still catch myself and have to remind myself he is not a young kid anymore. He is an experienced player in that changing room who is looked at as a leader." Also, this is something that the academy graduate seems to struggle with. Various pundits like Alan Shearer have recently critiqued the player's body language, and he has recently been dropped due to a low work rate of the ball. The former United defender also told the radio show that he does not understand how a player who is a local lad and who has been at the club so long has not volunteered to be the captain. Erik Tanha confirms Man United defender is doubtful to face Bayern München. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has confirmed that Victor Lindelof remains doubtful ahead of today's Champions League group stage clash against Bayern München at Old Trafford. The Red Devils suffered an embarrassing 3-0 Premier League to Bournemouth on Saturday, and Ten Hag will want a strong response from his squad when they host the German champions. Ahead of the must-win game, Ten Hag was asked about possible team news. The Dutchman highlighted that there is a question mark on Lindelof and he will be assessed before the game. He said in a press conference live on manunited.com, "It's a condensed program. We have a training. I'm not sure about everyone who is available. Question mark on Victor Lindelof. We have to wait." The Red Devils are currently bottom of Group A with 4 points, one behind Copenhagen and Galatasaray, who are second and third respectively in the table. Thomas Tuchel's side, on the other hand, have already progressed to the last 16 of the competition with the top spot, but they will be determined to make a mark. Like United, Bayern were on the wrong side of a heavy 5-1 defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, and Tuchel will want a positive result at Old Trafford tonight. For the Red Devils, the game is a must-win to stand any chance of making the last 16. Even a victory won't assure them a berth in the round of 16 of the competition. The club will also require Copenhagen and Galatasaray to share the spoils in the other group game. Lindelof is likely to undergo a light fitness test for the encounter. The £31 million signing was substituted with an injury midway through the victory over Chelsea last week. It's left to be seen whether the Swadi will be fully fit to start. We would ideally prefer Rafael Varane to be reinstated in central defense alongside Harry Maguire. Liverpool and Man United join race for Arsenal transfer target as club hub for bidding war. Liverpool and Man United are reportedly the latest two clubs showing an interest in the transfer of Fulham midfielder João Palhinha. The Portugal international came close to joining Bayern München in the summer before the move fell through, but it seems there is said to be fresh interest in him when the transfer window reopens in January. According to Toto Vigaches, Bayern remain in the race for Palhinha, but now Liverpool and Man United are also keen, while Fabrizio Romano has previously told Cout Offside about Arsenal being interested in the 28-year-old. Fulham are said to be keen on a bidding war for Palinha so they can get good money from his sale, so the situation surely suits them perfectly. However, one imagines the Londoners also won't be keen to lose Palinhas to a Premier League rival, with the former Sporting Lisbon man clearly good enough to make an impact for all of those top clubs. Arsenal need cover for the injury-prone Thomas Partey to help their title challenge, and Palinha could be ideal, while he'd also surely make an impact at Liverpool for the same reasons, even if they have already spent heavily on replacing the long list of midfielders who left Anfield in the summer. United, meanwhile, are having a disappointing season, so might view Palinha as ideal to give them an upgrade on struggling performers like Casemiro, Scott McTominay, and Sofiane Mrabit. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.